जानकी विश्वनाथ।
Sorry, Sharda, late today. Anyway, small bhajan, one bhajan, because I will get into mood only with a bhajan. Come.
Sure, uncle.
Quick.
कृष्णा का नाम अनमोल, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। कान्हा का नाम अनमोल, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। ब्रह्मा भी बोले कृष्णा, विष्णु भी बोले कृष्णा। ब्रह्मा भी बोले कृष्णा, विष्णु भी बोले कृष्णा। शिव जी की डमरू से आवाज आए कृष्णा कृष्णा। शिव जी की डमरू से आवाज आए कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्णा का नाम अनमोल, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। कान्हा का नाम अनमोल, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। चंदा भी बोले कृष्णा, सूरज भी बोले कृष्णा। चंदा भी बोले कृष्णा, सूरज भी बोले कृष्णा। तारों की झिलमिल से आवाज आए कृष्णा कृष्णा। तारों की झिलमिल से आवाज आए कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्णा का नाम अनमोल, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। कान्हा का नाम अनमोल, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा, बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा। हरिओम।
अस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि। एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरनिरास्य कारणम् कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयं ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि। निर्विकल्पकमनल्पमक्षरम् यत्क्षराक्षरविलक्षणं परम् नित्यमव्ययसुखं निरञ्जनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि। यद्विभाति सदनेकथा भ्रमात् नामरूपगुणविक्रियात्मना हेमवत् स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि। यच्चकास्त्यनपरं परात्परम् प्रत्यगेकरसम् आत्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि। ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि।
वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। समस्तजनकल्याणे Niratam Karunamaya Namami Chinmayam Sadguru Brahmadeva Sadguru Brahmadeva Bhadram Karnevi Suryama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshapiyajatraha Sthirayangaihi Sudhuvam Sandhi Yatema Deva Hitam Yadayu Svastina Yudo Buddhasava Swasti Pula Veda Swasti Saksho Harishanini Swasti Brihaspati Dadatu Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Guru Namaha Hari Om. Yeah. Every pursuit or every aspect of life has several dimensions. Broadly, they can be put into primary and secondary. Primary and secondary. Primary is called param. Secondary is called aparam. Our life also has both aparam and param. Aparam is called abhyudev. Param is called nishvayas. Right? There are a lot of people, like everywhere, fanatism, who say, no, this material world is bad. I have left everything. I have now taken to spirituality. If somebody says that, he has not understood. Because there are no two worlds. There are no two things. Everything is God. So how can something be bad? Your material attitude, your clinging to matter for security, your keeping matter as an end, that is bad for you, not bad for anybody else. It's not bad for anybody else, it's bad for you. Because you will get what you tap. You put the switch for light, you won't get heat. You put the switch for heater, you won't get light. What you tap, you get. Bhagavatam, first day talk, I am now doing it. Rehearsal. Vishayan dhyayata chittam vishayeshu visajjate. Mam dhyayata chittam mayyeva praliyate. Somebody is contemplating on Vishaya, subjects, objects. He gets attached to that. One whose mind is turned towards me, he merges in me. He merges in me. So, a person who thinks matter is all, don't criticize him. He is bad, he is materialist. No. He needs your sympathy. He needs your love. Poor fellow has not found the right thing for himself. How can you criticize him? He is suffering. So don't ever judge others. But you have to know for ourselves that it is not material life that is bad. It is your dependence on what that is bad. Material life, matter is a means. Why did Parikshit do such a heinous crime? Because he was hungry. He was thirsty. When you are hungry, you are thirsty, your mind doesn't work properly. Therefore, he did the mistake. You can all be absent on first day of Bhagavatam. Right? Because he was thirsty, hungry and thirsty, his mind doesn't work properly. So you do need things. You do need comforts. Because all of us are not Tapovan Maharaj. No point in trying to compare. Right? So Abhyudaya is a necessity. But if you think Abhyudaya is an end, that is the problem. That is, let me put the gist. Exact sentences I'm going to say that day. Let me say the gist. Abhyudaya should not be ignored. Should not get stuck with Abhyudaya. Think that is the end. Think that is the end. You understand? So, they have put the same thing in a different way. In most of the quotations are in Brihadaranyaka. This Upanishad also, you will see. Now in the chapters we are going to do, most of the quotations Brihadaranyaka. Sri Shankara Bhagavan in his Bhashya always quotes Brihadaranyaka. That is why that Upanishad is so important. And we did it by the grace of God. So, pure grace of God. You can't do, I can't do. I also said, next, on the first day, I will repeat the same thing. I was conscious in my mind. Who are you to say that? In my mind at the back, it was the thought, who are you to say that? Right? So therefore, the quotation in, I think, there's also Brihadaranyaka. Anyway, otherwise the spirit is there. Aparam chet praptavyam. If it is secondary, you have to work through effort and get it. Param chet, param means supreme, it's there everywhere. What is there everywhere? Not through effort, you have to only know. Param chet jnatavyam. These small words, if you remember, they help you for reflection. You know, what you have to read for 1 hour, these 2 words can make you remember. Aparam chet praptavyam, param chet jnatavyam. And Upanishads talk about param, therefore jnatavyam. And how to know? First is Sravana. Through Sravana, you know that there is something like that. But it's still not become yours. So when you do manana, you understand. First you didn't know. What you didn't know, Sravana. What you don't understand, manana. But now it has not become assimilated by you. To assimilate that is nididhyasana, meditation. Sravana, manana, nididhyasana. So that is the tradition of all the Upanishads, called differently. All those different things I repeated. Now also I repeat because most of you are committed people. You should know this because you may be able to tell others tomorrow. Right? Sravana, manana, nididhyasana. Same thing is said differently. Shruti, yukti, anubhava. Shruti, yukti, anubhava. Sravana, manana, nididhyasana. Shruti, yukti, anubhava. So, agama prakarana is Shruti. Agama means Shruti. First, agama prakarana. Now, yukti. Because that is yukti is manana. It makes you think. They help you to think. Yukti is manana. They help you to think. Now, yukti, you need 2 things. Because this whole world, there are not now many coming there. Only last class and this class only Sharda is there. Anyway, so whoever are there are serious people. So therefore, you must hear again and again at least a few things so that those things go into you. So Agama is Upanishad. We saw the same thing in Brihadaranyaka. First Upanishad, then Upapatti, logic, then Upasana. Upanishad, Upapatti, and Upasana. Same thing here also, that is the tradition. So Agama is the Upanishad portion. Right? And that you have to contemplate. So to contemplate, you should know what to contemplate, how to contemplate. We do not know how many Janmas tapas we came across Gurudev. 3 days back, there was a posting by, every day there is a posting coming from Siddhaji. He was explaining what is contemplation. The lower mind talking to the higher mind. The lower mind talking to the higher mind is contemplation. What is lower mind? What is higher mind? Because this whole world is a mixture of real and apparent. I won't even say unreal. Real and apparent. In traditional language, apparent and unreal, both are used as unreal sometimes. But you should know real and apparent, because there is nothing as unreal. Because if it's unreal, it is not there, Trikala Bhadita Bhakti. So where is the question of unreal being there? So if you are seeing this, it is a mixture of real and apparent. Vastu plus Namarupa. Vastu plus Namarupa. Now, both are needed. Both are needed. Mere Vastu is not useful for transaction. For transaction, you need Vastu plus Namarupa. That's why Bhagavan comes as Avatara, because you can't recognize him. He comes and when you get attached to him, your mind is absorbed in him. When you are going on thinking, your mind becomes quieter and calmer and pointed towards the higher, and you discover the Murti before is the Amurti also. Again, Brihadaranyaka. Murtam, Amurtam. Right? So Bhagavan himself, for us to recognize God, he comes with a Murti. Mere gold, you can't wear. You have to add a name and a form. Pure gold you can't wear. In fact, there is no pure gold. Pure gold only is liquid. You have to add at least 1% copper for it to become solid. Right? Anything that you see in this world, nothing is pure. Your water has 4 aspects of the other elements. Your air has 4 aspects of the other elements. If you see something, it is not pure. Because if it is pure, you cannot see. Bhagavan himself has to take a form and come. So what is this world? Vastu, substance. Substance not in the chemistry language. That's a different thing. Here, Vastu means that is Vastavam, that is true. Something real, plus a name and a form. This is the word. That the technical word is Satya Anrutam Mithini Krutya. Brahma Sutra, Satya Anrutam Mithini Krutya. Mithini Krutya means mingled together. Satya, real. Anrutam, falsehood. Means illusion, apparent. This is the word. Right? In this world, you have to. That's why sannyasis are called Hamsa and Paramahamsa. Hamsa can clearly separate milk and water. Sannyasis are called Hamsa and Paramahamsa. Hamsa sannyasis, they can separate, also would like to serve. Paramahamsa sannyasis, whom to serve what? Everything is God. They don't even come down to serve. Paramahamsa. Right? So you have to separate. Right? That process of separation is called manana, the lower with the higher. Gurudev said, process of separation. What is real, what is not real. So therefore, to separate what is illusion, Vaitatya Prakarana was done. For us to know manana. Now, to accept what is real, Advaita Prakarana is being taken. Right? Advaita Prakarana is being taken now. I have to take it. Till this last sentence, you felt I am only repeating the same thing in all classes. That is the subject. I have to connect. I cannot take something without connecting the whole thing. उपासनाश्रितो धर्मो जाते ब्रह्मणि वर्तते प्राग उत्पत्तेः अजं सर्वं तेनासौ कृपणः स्मृतः. See here, dharma is used in the sense jiva. How will you read a Upanishad book without a teacher? You can't even learn swimming without a teacher. Cycling, you can't learn. Somebody has to be there in cycling twice, thrice to hit you from the back. Hey, Narapar. Right? You can't learn. God forbid people who eat food cooked from the book. Nobody had got from the mothers and all that. Learning from family. They just read the book and do. God bless the people who eat. You need even for these things a teacher. Swimming, cycling, cooking and all that. This is very subtle. How will you learn? And the words are limited. So the same word is used differently. Dharma is used here as a jiva. Upasanasrito dharmo jate brahmani vartate prag utpattehe ajam sarvam tena asau krupanaspluta. There are two types of Vedantins. One who believe that before creation it was non-dual. There are 3-4 types. Now, out of the wrong people, I will tell. Before creation, what was there was non-dual, but that becomes dual. This is a wrong philosophy. Why? This book will give you lovely arguments. Right? Before creation, it was non-dual, and it became dual. Another argument is, it was not a dual before creation also, it was dual now also. Sankhya. Prakriti Purusha was both eternal. Sankhya philosophy, both eternal. Prakriti Purusha. This Sankhya is different from Gita Sankhya and Bhagavata Sankhya. This Sankhya, some Krishna has put the same name. Right? Because both have one thing in common, those 24 tattvas. That's all common. Right? Again, even in this Sankhya, Saishwara Sankhya, Nirishwara Sankhya. Those who believe in God, those who don't believe in God. right? So many confusions. How to take this and how to live and how to get liberation. I give you a simple thing. All the time, God makes me think, gives me problems and makes me think. And because it's my experience, because of my problem, that is through experience, it is useful to all of you also. You understand? Because it's my problem, my answer. Right? It's very useful answer. Though I am not born as I was telling him in the car, Ramana Bhagavan, Shankaracharya, beyond all senses and all that, there were some small these things. But ultimately I got over everything. My mind doesn't go into any senses, including food or anything. Right? Even Carnatic music, Gurudev said it, now I experience. Gurudev said once, the best of musicians was called there, number one in, I don't want to name, in Chennai. Number one, not these days. Those days, number one is number one. Right? Gurudev, after listening sometime, enough. This is sensual. Because it caters to senses still. You understand? So I also, a long time back, used to listen to a lot of, now it's a disturbance. Occasionally I listen to some bhajan because I don't know any, at that time anything to do. I have read and did the whole day's work. 10 minutes is there. I don't waste even 1 minute. That 10 minutes I listen to some bhajan. Okay. So why I am saying is everything is sensuous. Anything other than God is sensuous. So I was not born like that, beyond like Tapovan Maharaj and all that. But certainly, I have, whether senses or not, from childhood till today, I had love for all and I lived only for others. Right? I had love for all, I lived only for others, and I am totally committed to God. I am living in this thing. Now, after this, what happens? What is my problem? I have done what I have to do. What happens is this problem. You understand? I have done what I have to do. What happens is this problem. I'm giving you this clue because this is what you should not worry about technical terms. Because I was using technical terms, you may be worried. Don't worry about all the technical terms. You do what you have to do properly. Rest you have to take care. Gurudev wrote to me once when I was having a problem. Nahi kalyana pratkachati durgatin tata gachati. The doer of good shall never come to grief. And beautiful language, you alone can write like that. The man who gave this word is a man of honor. He has to keep it up. Why worry? Krishna gave it, that the doer of good shall never come to grief. He has to keep it up. Why do you worry? So you live a pure, good, selfless, loving, dedicated life. Rest, what? It is his job. If you do not get ultimate, you don't fail. It is God that fails. It's God that fails. And he will never fail. So we don't have to worry about technical terms too much beyond this. You live your life. These are all things. Then why we are studying it? Mind to get tuned into that. Mind to get tuned in. So therefore, one is to negate what is all not real. Another is to ascertain what is real. In that, he says, there are one type of people who believe that before creation it was non-dual, later it became dual. How do you know it became dual? They think, how can you know what they think? How can you know what they think? It's because they believe in Murti Puja. worship, right? Krishna, Rama, Muruga worship. Therefore, they believe now in Murti. Murti is duality. They believe the beginning was birthless, Ajam. Now they believe in Murti. Now this Murti, he has become the Murti, therefore he is no more the complete. It will come later, but I'll tell you because it has to be connected. The same verse is coming later. One where no form has become form, taken form, so therefore the formless is dead. The formless is dead because he has changed. Is it possible? These people believe, Sankhyas believe both were dual, beginning and cause and effect were duality. But there are people who believe cause is Advaita, effects are dual. If they are dual, the cause has changed, the cause is no more real, it's destroyed. This is a lovely example. I don't know where I read, Shankara's only. You can't say, I'm going to today give my guests chicken. Cut the chicken half, cook it, and say I've kept the other half to lay the eggs. Is it possible? You cut the chicken half for cooking and half to lay the eggs. So God has become this. Then he is no more God. Amritam. He has become mortal. You understand? So he says, therefore, Krupanaha. This word Krupana, Gita also comes. It's a very beautiful word. Right? Krupana is miser. But invariably, it's used in the sense pitiable people. Karpanya. Karpanya doshoka hatasvabhava. Right? Krupana means miser. Why they are miser? Gurudev's explanation of this miser is very, very elaborate. He would say, you have money in the pocket, feeling hungry, so passing through the hotel, right? Feeling hungry, money is there. You don't go and eat there. Go there, take 2 tumblers of glass, water, drink. In half an hour, I go home. 45 minutes, why should I eat? Don't spend. You have the means, you have the need, you don't spend, you are called a miser. And then you are miserable. You need immortality. You have the God within you. You don't use him. You are a miser. You have the need. You have the means. And you don't use. You are a miser. Krupana. Right? So he says, Utpattihi ajam sarvam. Ajam, unborn, immortal, before Utpatti. Tenasav Rupanasmutha. Then they believe Jate Brahmani Vartate. They believe Upasana Ashritaha people. Jate Brahmani, the Brahman, the God that is born, manifest. They believe in that. Right? Don't get disturbed because we are all bhaktas. First, for you to be comfortable, let me tell you, I am a bhakta first, then only a Vedanti. You understand? And all masters, take Tapovan Maharaj, take Chinmayananda Maharaj. Tapovan Maharaj, all his books are all in stotrams. Badrikashi Stotram, Ganga Stotram, Ishvara Darshan. Shankara says you are going to listen on Bhagavatam. This Krishna you are seeing in form is that Nirguna Nirakara Krishna. They are not two different. And he quotes to say, Brihadaranика, Murtam cha, Upanishad itself has said that infinite has two forms, both Murti and Amurti. Then why does he say this? You understand? Why does he say this? It is because people get stuck at one place. You should know that the Krishna you love, which is real, which is only that Brahman, undoubtedly. You must know his transcendental form, because your mind will take what it continuously thinks. If you are stuck with a form, you become dependent. It has to come. Therefore, he is telling, he is not, because Mandukya is not meant for everybody. In fact, in the olden days, traditional days, two things you have to know, what we are going against tradition. Mandukya is given only to sannyasis. One. Two, Mandukya is never supposed to be read in nights. We're both going against this because we are not alone these days. People who are going against tradition, there are plenty of people, so no problem. Right? So, this is given for evolved people. Evolved people still should not think that is the ultimate. Nothing wrong with being a devotee of Krishna. But you should know that Krishna, whom you are seeing, is that ultimate Brahman, and you should know that dimension. You should know that dimension. Oh, you are interpreting as you like. But he himself says in Bhagavatam, that too. If he says in Brahma Sutra, if he says in Upanishad, Gita, acceptable. Bhagavatam itself, he says, people who think that I am this form, they do not know. Gopis advises Rasalila period. Why I disappeared? Why I didn't come once I went to Madura and Dwaraka? He sends message. You people depend on my form. He sends message through Uddhava. You people depending on my form, you cannot get the best. He himself sends this message. Right? Shravanat, Darshanat, Dhyanan Mayi, Bhavo Anukirtanat, Natha, Natata Sannikarshena. As you gain through hearing, through reflection and meditation, you don't get the same thing being closer to me, physical relation. He himself says in Bhagavatam, this stanza is repeated twice. Natata Sannikarshena. You understand? So he himself says, so how can you blame anybody? How can you blame anybody? So we leave from tomorrow pujas and all that. No. You know that this is that. This Brahman, this is that. And you should try to use this to contemplate that. Use this form to contemplate the formless. So it is for that this is advised. It's not that we should leave the pujas and Ishtadevatas. Ato vakshami akarpanyam ajati samataраtam tatha na jayate kinchit jayamanam samantataha. He says they are krupanas, miserable people, miser people. The word is same. Miserable because they are misers. Sanskrit also krupanaha, therefore karpanya dosha apahataha. So because they are krupanas, I shall now give you akarpanya, that which is beyond krupanatvam. Akarpanyam, ajatim, unborn, samata, homogeneous, gatam, yatha jayat, yatha na jayate kinchit, jayamanam samantataha, which amongst the various things that take names, that truth, that reality is not born. Wave, bubble, ocean. Is water born in the wave? Is water born in the bubble? room space, kitchen space, dining hall space, Shankara auditorium space, and Tapavana hall space. Is space bound? Is space different? Space is not bound. Space is not bound. What is bound? We'll see. If I tell everything by how to do the verses, right? It's coming there. It doesn't leave any point. So space is not bound. Therefore, amongst the things that are manifest, he is not bound. He is not bound. That is the truth. Atma hi akashavat jivaha ghatakasha ivoditaha. Atma, the self, the God, the Brahman, is Mahakasha. Jiva is Ghatakasha. Ghatakasha is, Ghata is part. Mahakasha is total space. Total space and part space. Total space and part space. Part space is different from tumbler space. Thought is different, tumbler is different. You will say now, oh, it's all space only. Then what is the difference between pot and tumbler? Because both are mud. How did this become pot? Then how did that become tumbler? It is no. You will say, it is because the shape. Pot, tumbler. First objection you will raise is it's all space. When I question you, answer. Second time I ask you, then how did the difference come? You will say because of the shape. Now, how does the shape come, sir? Shape comes only because of space. If there is no space, shape itself won't come. There is no space, shape itself doesn't come. So before space, as pot it is space, as tumbler it is space. And before it was space only, as pot it is space only, as tumbler it is space only, it never changed. Space never changed. And it is not bound. It's never changed, it's never bound. Atma hi akashavat jiva hi ghatakasha iva uditaha. Their humility, master of masters writing. He doesn't say, I am saying, like I told you, Bhagavatam, I will repeat this. He doesn't say, uditaha, this so was said. It was said like that. Gatadivacha sanghataihi jatavet tad nidarshanam. Sanghataihi. That is the clue. Because of the walls holding the space, tumbler is tumbler, gata is gata, and mahakasha is mahakasha. Because of the conditionings, that which conditions the walls, right? Tree, stone, animal, human, man, God, man. All what? Only the walls. Inside what is truth is God only. Like it is space only, even in the walls. I told you. Like space only, even in the walls. Even in the so-called forms, stone, tree, animal, all these walls. That is also Bhagavan. Therefore, it is Advaita and Ajata. It is Advaita, the Ajata. When you die, what happens? You have 5 elements. Does anything happen to the 5 elements? they disintegrate, and all of them mingle with those only this thing. Air goes. Where does it go? It mingles with the atmospheric air. You become a matchbox, ashes. Where did the space go? With the total space. Right? Where did the water in you go? Dehydrated. It mixed with the atmospheric water. Nothing is lost. And this your science supports. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. Your science also supports everything as it is. Then what is death? Whose is death? Matter is there. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit, everybody, even a tribal believes. Otherwise, why do they do obsequies? Why do they do after death ceremonies? Shraddha, 16 days ceremony. Why do they do if they don't believe somebody exists after death? It is not Vedantics. Everybody believes. Spirit is there all the time. Matter is also there all the time. Matter mingles with matter. Spirit becomes one with the spirit because walls are destroyed. When the pot walls are destroyed, it is the same space. Right? So that's called Sanghata. Another point in Sanghata is Sanghata, assembly. Wherever there is Sanghata means assembly. Wherever there is an assembly, it's meant for somebody else. Car is an assembly. It's meant for somebody else. House is an assembly. It's meant for somebody else. Your body is an assembly. It's meant for somebody else. Not for the body's sake. Not for the car's sake. It's meant for somebody else. Gatadishu pralineshu gatakasadeyo yatha akasho sampraliyante tadvad jiva yathatmani. When the pot space is destroyed, just like the pot space merges with the total space, when this individual dies, so-called death, he merges with the total existence. This individual existence merges with the total existence. Is it merging? Did pot space merge with the Mahakasha? It was never divided. It appeared to have been divided. Similarly, you merging with Bhagavan is also another illusion. Time is there. No problem. यथा एकस्मिन् घटाकाशे रजो धूमादिभिः युते न सर्वे संयुज्यन्ते तद्वत् जीवा सुखादिभिः. Just as in one pot, rajaha, dirt, dhumaha, smoke is there in one pot. All pots are not contaminated by that. In one pot, dust is there, smoke is there, or you spit, right? Very few people spit in the pot. They spit only on the staircase. Okay. So, you spit or raja or dhuma, one pot, right? Does it affect all the pots? It doesn't. I have some characteristics that won't affect all as an individual also. Now, as essence, does the space ever get attached to the spit or the dirt or the smoke? Never. So also all your so-called plus and minus never touches and gets absorbed by the spirit. Understand? And that I am. Chidananda Rupaha Ivohum Ivo. Because there is a school of philosophy. There are 2-3 schools not worth considering. One of them is this. The other was Chanika Vijnanavadis, not worth talking because they're illogical. How can you give logic to something illogical? There are many things, there is somewhere logic. They are accepted. In fact, it's very surprising. In the recognized schools, Sankhya is not considered as a school of philosophy, Saddarshanas. It's not called theistic, it's called atheistic. Because there is no logic and they don't believe in God. Either you believe in God or there is logic, they will accept it as theistic. It's not atheistic. Charuvaka don't believe in God, but logical. So Charuvaka is given official status. Charuvaka don't believe in God, but logical. They're given this thing, official status. Either there should be belief in God or logic. Both are not there. You have to ignore. This is one of them. They believe there is only one Jiva everywhere. And therefore, your dukkha affects all. Right? And what is the proof? Everything should be corroborated by anubhava. Shruti, yukti, anubhava. You make a statement, it should be logical and it should be the experience. It's yukti is not there, anubhava is not there. It's not worth even talking about this and Chanika Vijnanavad. Rupa Karyam, Rupa Karya Samakhyascha, Vidyante Tatra Tatra Vai, Akashasya cha Bhedo na Bhedo Asti, Tadvat Jiveshu Nirnayaha. Rupa Karya, form, effect, differs from part to part, from pot to tumbler, they differ. Form differs, utility differs, effect differs. But space is the same. Same way, all of us may differ in rupa, forms, right? And so, nama, rupa, we may differ, but essentially we're the same, like pot space, tumbler space, space is same. Name only changes. Form, because form changes. Right? So also, all of us are essentially the divine spirit. What is the shortest cut to Vedanta? Nirvikalpa Samadhi. I am all the time that. I cannot be increased, I cannot be decreased. Why should I worry about anything? If you can stay there, end of it, you become the highest jnani. Enama? Because nothing can be done to me. You cannot improve on me as self. You cannot cut me. You cannot do anything. You cannot decrease me. You cannot increase me. I am ever Brahman. What to do? Ashtavakra Gita says, even meditation, it says, meditation. You don't, who? Meditate on whom? Ashtavakra Gita. You are meditating on whom? It ridicules even meditation. But that's all meant for people who have gone through the sadhana, gone to a particular stage, and is afraid to parachute from there. For them, it's not for ordinary people. Ordinary people have to follow the normal rules. Like in LKG, they give you blocks. As you grow, you have to leave the blocks. But in LKG, you need the blocks. न आकाशस्य घटाकाशो विकार अवयवो यथा न इव आत्मनः तदा जीवो विकारः अवयवः. Just as in this space there are no parts. Avayava means parts, limbs. Right? There is no limbs and there are no modifications. Vikara. Vikara, avayava are not there in space. In the essential Atman, the one Atman, there is neither Vikara nor avayava, parts. यथा भवति बालानां गगने मलिनं मलैः तथा भवति बुद्धानाम् आत्मापि मलिनो अबुद्धापि तथा अबुद्धानामपि मलिनो मलैः. Just as children say, the sky is dirty. Sky can never be dirty. They see dirt there and they say sky is dirty. Similarly, for abuddhas, it says abuddhas, unintelligent people, the self is corrupted. Just as you see Akasha is dirty, for unintelligent people, the self is corrupted. Who? Balana, children. Hey, you people, Vedanta people, supposed to be broad-minded. You now criticize children. Children will think only like that. In spiritual language, when they use balas, it is not in the age. People who are not grown enough, immature people, childish people. Right? Vishnu Bhagavan takes Indra to Prithu Maharaj. Because Indra's speciality, he got Nobel Prize for always doing wrong things. Right? So he takes him to Prithu Maharaj, Vishnu takes him and Vishnu asks forgiveness on his behalf to Prithu Maharaj. Vishnu asks, this fellow is childish. He has done something. Oh, you are so big. Why do you worry about it? Vishnu Bhagavan says. There he uses the word Balishaha. Balishaha means childish. So Bala means child. So in all Vedanta, when they use Purusha Stri also, it's not the physiological Purusha Stri. It is the spirit or matter. Prakriti or Purusha. यथा भवति बालानां गगनं मलिनं मलैः तथा भवति अबुद्धानाम् आत्मापि मलिनो मलैः. See, these are all simple tips. You are sincere. You are sincere. You are straightforward. You are honest. You are loving. You are serving. You are devoted to God. In the external world, due to your prarabdha, due to your vasanas, in the external world, certain dirty things cling to you. Don't get stuck with that and go on feeling guilty. Just reject it. It's not me. I have nothing to do with that. I am pure. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, that belongs to Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chitta, not me. I am not Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham, Nacha Srotra Jitve, Nacha Grana Netri. I am Chidananda Rupa Shiv. All your dirt can only come to Manaha Buddhi Ahankara Chitta. I am not that. You have to suggest it. When too much guilt comes, because you go on thinking about something, Swamiji condemns it about guilt. You take that form because mind is what it takes. It's all in the process of growth. Lot of things happen. Just leave it. Process of growth. If you are perfect, you won't take birth. You've been born only to evolve. In the process, there will be a lot of things coming, your vasanas and others' vasanas. Just ignore and drop. Grow beyond. Marane sambhave chaiva. Gatyagamaнаyorapi. Sito sarvasarili. Akasha Akashena avilakshana. That is, in birth and death, the space remains the same as the space in the, the self remains the same as the space in the pot. Pot is broken, pot is created, space is the same. You are born, you are dead, space is same. Sanghataha Sapnavat sarve Atmamaya Visajjitaha. Adhike Sarvasamye Va Na Upapattihi Vidyate. All assemblage, the Sanghata again of the body, mind, intellect, they are all themselves are illusive, produced by ignorance. How? This is so visible. How is it produced by ignorance? He gives the example. Swapnavat. In dream, you see everything there. While dreaming, they are all real. Do you say they are real? They are real at that time because you have slept to your waking condition, ignorance. So Swamiji uses the two words often. Non-apprehension of the reality brings forth misapprehension of reality. And there is no relationship between them. There is no relationship, no comparison, no equation between them. Rasadayo hi ye koshaha vyakhyata taitiriyake tesham atma paro jivaha kam yata prakashitaha. See, thank God. Because I have a quota to do. I'm worried because I'm at least another 2-3 to do. I have time. Rasadayo hi ye koshaha vyakhyataha taitiriyake. Tesham atma paro jivaha kam yata samprakashitaha. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it starts with Annamaya Kosha. There are two ways of reaching God through manana. One, from the known to the unknown. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, Om. That, Swamiji's chart. Om. So from here you say, the other way is start Om, then Vasanas, then BMI, PFT, OET. Come down. Two ways. So Taittiriya does both. This treatment also, that treatment also. And there, to say that all this is Brahman, he uses one logic. Yatova yamani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayatyabhivishanti, from which everything rises, in which everything stays, into which everything goes. That is real. Your dream starts from there. Your dream stays in that. Your dream merges into consciousness. So, he starts first. Everybody is born because of Anna. You are born because of the food that your father has taken. It has become the seed and nurtured by the food in the mother's womb. And when it comes out, immediately it needs food So everybody is born as food and born as food, lives on food, becomes the food. So it's therefore, because things are born from that, stays in that, goes back into that, according to the definition of Brahman. This is Brahman. Yatova yamani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, by which the born things are nurtured. Yet prayatya vivishanti, when it's dissolved, it merges. So from Anna it has come. Through Anna it sustains. When it dies, it becomes Anna for insects. So the Annamaya Kosha is Brahman. It doesn't decay. Then what does it say? Yes, that is the outer form. Anyantara Atma. There is another Atma which is subtler than this, greater than this. Why Annamaya Kosha is only here? Only here. Manomaya, I want to go home quickly and see what happened to the debate today on Constitution. Manomaya, mind has gone there. This is only here. So therefore, that occupies larger area and subtle, more powerful. So this is Atma, no doubt. But there is another Atma which is greater than this. Anya Antara Atma. Inside. Inside means subtle. Subtle. Subtle means more pervasive, more powerful. So this is Atma. That's also Atma, because everything is the world itself, everything is, if there is no mind, there is no world. Born from the mind, nourished by the mind, merges into the mind. And its source is Anyantaratma Vijnanamayaha. You understand? So, all are Atmas only. According to their conditionings, it's called Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, like wave, bubble, ocean, all are water only. Understand? Prasada Yogi, and because it takes you from Annamaya, Anyonya, and finally goes to Brahman. That is the Para. Beyond that, there is nothing. Beyond that, Om, there is nothing. So, that Om is the reality. That reality alone reflected in the body becomes the Annamaya. That reality reflected in the mind becomes Manomaya. That reality reflected in the Vijnana becomes Vijnanamaya. You understand? Dvayoho madhugnane param brahma prakashitam pruthavyam udare cheva yatha akasha prakashtaha. In the Brihadaranyaka that we did, the pairs Madhu Vidya has been taken. That is, Prithvi Bhutanam Madhuhu. Earth is honey to beings. Beings are honey to earth because they mutually cater. Earth means all matter. Bhutanam Madhuhu. They are the honey feed for these people. This man becomes the feed for the other things. Earth. Earth becomes feed for him. He becomes feed for the earth. So there are two different things. No, there it says Madhu Vidya. Yascha ayam divyam tejomaya amritamaya purushaha yascha adhyatmam tejomaya amritamaya purushaha. In that earth, there is the same tejomaya, amritamaya, immortal, conscious entity in that Prithvi. The same Tejomaya, Amritamaya is immortal, is there in the human being. Both are same, only names and forms are different. That's where Tattvamasi comes. In Tattvamasi, the student asks, how can I be God? He is Sarvajnaha, Sarvavyapi, Sarvashaktiman. I am Alpajnaha, Alpavyapi, And Alpa Shaktiman, he says, drop the conditionings. You and he are same. The wave can say, how can I be the ocean? Remove the concept of the name and form. The ocean concept, name and form, both are water only. Bhagat Yaga Dakshana. It's called. Jivatmano Ananyatva Abhedena Prakashati Nanatvam Nindyate Yacha Tadevam Hi Samanjasam. All scriptures talk about the oneness of Jiva and Atma, and they all condemn Nanatvam, multiplicity. Nana eva hechinkete mrityosa mrityu gacchati Kathopanishad. One who sees duality, he goes from death to death. See their language. He doesn't say birth to death, death to birth, but death to death, because your birth itself is a death. Your birth itself, death to the previous condition. And now this death is supposed to be another birth. All are death only. So he says, such people who see Nanatma, multiplicity, they only go from death to death. So that way it condemned Nanatma. But everywhere, Jiva Parama, Jivatma, Aikyam only is spoken. The Bhagavatam, that is the essence is said in the last Vedanta Saram, Jiva Brahma Eka Lakshanam. Jiva Brahma Eka Lakshanam. They are all the same. This is Vedanta Sara, essence of the Vedas. That is Bhagavatam. It says, concluding in 2 verses. Right? Nanatvam Vidyate. Therefore, Advaita is the truth. Plurality, multiplicity is only apparent, not true. Jivatmano praduktam yat svagutpattehe prakashitam bhavishyad vidya gaunam tan mukhyatvam hi na srujyate. So, this Karmakanda, they talk about Karma Pradata and the receiver. And they say this is also Vedas. So you can't say God is Advaita. Because God is talked as Karma Pradata, you are talked as Jiva, you do karmas, you get results. So both are different. They quote the Vedas only. Right? And it says here, that is all because to calm your mind, to do Upasana, to become fit to understand the later portions of the Vedas. Karma Kanda comes in the beginning. Later comes the Upanishads. For you to become fit to understand the Mahavakya, Jiva, Brahma, Eka Lakshana. That's called Mahavakya. Whatever says the Jiva and Brahma are the same. That's a Mahavakya. Right? So, for you to understand, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. Therefore, in Karma Kanda, it is said, that is secondary, Gauna, he says. That's not the primary meaning. It is Gauna. We'll see next week, okay? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha Hari Om. Thank you, Arati.
ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे